The movie starts with Zoe, who is visiting a psychiatrist. The doctor reassures her that everything she says will remain completely confidential, encouraging her to speak freely. Zoe begins explaining that she has what seems like a perfect family: her husband Jason, their children, and even her mother all live together in the same house. However, her problem is that she has always felt like she's missing something, like she needs to be in another kind of relationship. Even though her husband never falls short in his role, she still feels an emotional void. The next day, at her company, which specializes in marketing and advertising, we meet Brina, her assistant and also her close friend. Brina shows her a picture of a painter named Quentin and suggests that they steal his artwork. Zoe is immediately impressed by his paintings, so she decides to visit an exhibition where his work is being displayed. There, she meets a man and starts talking to him about how talented Quentin is, only to be surprised when she later discovers that he is Quentin himself. She introduces herself as the owner of a company and tells him she wants to sign a contract with him to promote his work. He begins flirting with her, which makes her feel embarrassed, but he gives her his home address so they can discuss business further. When Zoe realizes that she's starting to feel attracted to him, she tries to break that feeling by getting closer to her husband. She prepares a romantic dinner, but when she calls him, he tells her he'll be late at work. Feeling disappointed, she leaves the house and heads to her friend Lily's place, but a call from her mother makes her return home. Zoe then tells the doctor that even though Jason is kind to her, she always feels like something is missing. She believes this might be because they got married at a young age and had children early, which kept them busy and gradually distanced them from each other. She also tells the doctor that the next day, she went to Quentin to sign the contract. When she entered his house and saw his artwork, she told him that her husband is an architect and would really admire his work. Strangely, when she handed him the contract, he signed it without even reading it. He then told her that she wasn't the first company to approach him, but he agreed on one condition: that she would allow him to paint her. At that moment, Zoe felt embarrassed and wanted to leave, but he followed her. Sensing her vulnerability toward him, he took advantage of it, and the two ended up having an affair. When she returned to the company, Brina told her that she had managed to connect with the owner of a major company who could help take their business to the next level. Zoe asked her to arrange a dinner meeting so she could meet him. Later, Zoe found herself lost in thoughts about Quentin, even imagining him, until her son interrupted her. He was surprised to find her at home because she hadn't gone to watch him play like she usually did. The next day at work, Brina reminded her again about the dinner reservation and warned her not to be late, as it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. However, Zoe was still distracted, thinking about Quentin. She decided that she needed to end things with him. She went to his house, but he wasn't there, so she left an envelope containing the contract along with a message saying she wouldn't continue with him. As she was leaving, she ran into him and told him she had to stay away for the sake of her home and family. He told her he wouldn't force her into anything, but asked her to come with him to one place first. After that, she could make whatever decision she wanted. She agreed, and he took her to a place that looked like a warehouse, where he showed her a mural he had been working on for 9 years. He told her that she was the only person who knew about it now. He also tells her about his childhood, how his mother abandoned them when they were very young, and how, because of that, his father took his own life. He admits that he knows their relationship is wrong, but says he loves her and can't let her go. In reality, he manages to manipulate her emotionally, and because she was with him, she ends up missing the important work meeting and loses the opportunity to collaborate with the big company. We then return to her sessions with the doctor, where we learn that she has been in a relationship with him for months. One day, while she's at his place and he's painting her, she notices paintings of other women he had done before. When she asks him about them, he tells her those relationships ended a long time ago, but it's clear she feels uneasy. When she goes back home, she finds her son upset with her because, for the second time, she missed his game. He also notices a blue tint in her hair. However, since her husband trusts her, he doesn't pay much attention to it. Later, she visits the doctor again, who tells her that what she's experiencing isn't love, but rather an addiction and an obsession with relationships. The doctor suggests that she bring her husband along so they can talk together. One day, Jason notices that Zoe has a second phone. When he asks her about it, she tells him that the company gave it to her as a gift. She also mentions that she's been seeing a psychiatrist and wants him to come with her, but he dismisses the idea, believing that psychiatrists are a scam. As time goes on, Zoe begins to notice that Quentin's behavior is changing. When she asks him about it, he surprises her by saying that he wants her to leave her husband. She makes it clear that she can't abandon her husband and children, they are her whole life, and she leaves. As she's walking out, she notices a painting he made of the two of them together, and at that moment, she realizes that he has truly fallen in love with her. To To make sure whether she truly loved Quentin or if it was just an obsession, as the doctor had suggested, Zoe went to her friend Lily's place and had an affair with someone there. Later, during another session, when the doctor asked her about her childhood, Zoe became uncomfortable, got upset, and left. At some point, she went back to Quentin and realized the truth, that she was actually addicted to relationships and emotionally unstable. She began to surrender to this reality and drift further into it. One night, she returned home late and found Jason waiting for her. He questioned her about her constant absence and why she kept coming home so late. Instead of answering, she turned the situation against him, accusing him of looking down on her work because she earned less than he did. She also told him that he had never considered what she was missing in her life. This led him to respond that she wasn't lacking anything, but rather that she had changed and had become like a stranger to him. Meanwhile, due to her neglected work, all her clients started leaving her company for competitors. Brina confronted her about her carelessness and lack of commitment, which pushed Zoe to go back to Quentin and resume their relationship in order to activate the contract with him. At the same time, her husband went to meet Quentin. He wanted to see his artwork and offer him a job. Quentin already knew he was Zoe's husband, yet when Jason was about to see a painting that could expose everything, Quentin didn't even try to stop him. Later, when Jason left, Zoe confronted Quentin angrily about his indifference regarding the painting. Around that time, the man she had met at Lily's place kept calling her, but she ignored him. She also began to notice that her family had started going out without even asking her to join them anymore, as they had grown used to her absence. One day, while she was sitting with the doctor, the therapist pushed her to talk about something from her past that she had been avoiding. But Zoe reacted aggressively, accusing the doctor of being a fraud, then stormed out. When she got back home, she found that the man she had met at Lily's place had been there and left an envelope among her clothes. At the same time, she was shocked to discover that Quentin had sent her husband a sculpture as a gift, one he had admired during his visit. In that moment, Zoe felt like her entire life was about to fall apart. Desperate, she went to Quentin, and at the same time, she called the other man to come as well. When they were both there, she told them clearly that she loved her husband and asked them to stay away from her. She admitted that she had been acting this way against her will because she was sick. When the man from Lily's place tried to attack her, Quentin stepped in and hit him on the head. But then Quentin himself lost control, turning almost insane, and told Zoe he would never let her leave him. Terrified, she ran away and hid, but he chased after her and nearly harmed her. At the last moment, Jason arrived and struck Quentin on the head with the same gift he had sent him. He then told Zoe that he knew everything from the second phone she had forgotten at home. Without another word, he walked away. Zoe ran after him, begging for forgiveness, insisting that she did all of this because she was sick and couldn't control herself. But Jason rejected that, saying it was just an excuse for betrayal. He told her she had destroyed his life and their family, and that their relationship was over, that from that moment on, she was dead to him. At that point, Zoe truly felt like her life was over. Overwhelmed and broken, she decided to end her life, but she was suddenly hit by a car. After that, we see Zoe in the hospital. Despite everything, Jason doesn't abandon her while she's sick. He tells her that he can't keep her away from their children, but he decides to leave the house himself. As time passes, Zoe becomes resigned to her condition. Then, she receives an invitation from her psychiatrist. Around the same time, Jason comes to see the children, and Zoe's mother asks him to forgive her and give their relationship another chance, especially since she is truly ill. In the final scene, Zoe attends the doctor's gathering and stands in front of everyone, where she finally confesses the truth. When she was young, she was assaulted by 3 boys, and this is what led to her condition. She also declares that she loves her husband and her children. At that moment, Jason is there, listening to everything. He approaches her, and it becomes clear that he finally understands her illness and forgives her. And with that, our movie comes to an end. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like, share, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. See you next time.